everyone. Today I will be discussing the fundamentals of logic. Let us discuss first logical connectives. So, logical connective is a symbol which is used to connect two or more propositional or predicate logics. So first we have the conjunction or and operation, the disjunction connective or the or operation, and the negation or the not operation. Next, we have for the premise and conclusion, the implication connective or the if-then, and the biconditional connective or the if and only if. So let us look at the truth table below where we can use these connectives. So a truth table provides a method for mapping out the possible truth values in an expression and to determine their outcome. So you may notice that this truth table uses numbers. This is because truth tables may use either true or false or binary numbers. And for convenience, I will be using binary numbers. Please remember that true means 1 and false means 0 or vice versa. So actually, we can have more than 2 propositional variables in a single truth table. As you can see here, we can have up to 5 variables. But for our example today, I will only be using 2, namely P and Q. So for the conjunction operation, it is only the multiplication of the variables. So for the variables P and Q, let's just multiply them to get the results. So here, and drag them down. Okay. As you can see that the number 1 or true shows up when both of the variables are true. Now let's move on to the disjunction operation. It is only the addition of the variables. So let's add them. Drag it down. Sorry. Down. Let's look at the result. Here you can see that as long as one of the variable is true or has the number 1, the result will also be 1. And the last result, you may notice the result is 2. So let's just change that back to 1 since the truth table does not allow the number 2 to signify true. Next, we have the negation operation. So this is simply inputting the opposite of the initial values under the variables. So 1, 1, 0, 0, and we have 1, 0, 1, 0. Next, let us move on to the implication connective or the if-then. So in this case, it is if P, then Q. So the rules for this is that here, if P and Q have similar values, then the result is true. However, if the values differ, we must focus on the letter after the arrow and copy the value written there. So in this case, both are the same value, so it's true. And here, both are the same value, so it's true. Next, let's look at the variables under the variable Q. So here, the Q is 1. Let's copy that. And then here it is 0, so let's copy that. Lastly is the biconditional connective or the if and only if operation. In this case, P if and only if Q. So both variables P and Q must have the same value to be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. So here we can see that both are the same value. They're not the same value, not the same value, and here they're both the same value. So now that we have filled out our truth table, let's discuss propositional equivalences. So for this, we need to focus on the last row here. So this is where we will use the propositional equivalences. So the tautology is used if all the entries are trues or ones, a contradiction if all the entries are false or zeros, and a contingency if it is a combination of both. So we can see here that the results are a combination of ones and zeros. So the answer is that this truth table is a contingency. So that's all for our basic discussion. Head on to our post on the fundamentals of logic for a more in-depth view. Thank you.